Founders Floor, a co-working accelerator for startups.
I personally always like teams where at least one of the founding team are deeply technical people, but both or all of the founders, you really have to be able to speak.
This video is brought to you by Procopia Law, the recommended law firm of Founders Floor.
It's much more important to speak about the application of what it is you're building, who the customer is and why they need this thing, much more than, I remember in my last startup, sorry, I'm gonna go off on these tangents all night, but I had this block diagram that I made in PowerPoint. And for those of you who spend a lot of time in PowerPoint, you know that that's an awful tool. And I was so proud of myself. I had this big complicated thing with a bunch of arrows and little boxes showing all the different stack and all this garbage. And what I realized afterwards was nobody cared. Like all they care about is what's the input and what's the output. And I changed my slide at some point later to be a square, basically. I threw away all this junk that I had literally spent like 4 days trying to just get all the stupid, get all the things to align correctly and the font's too big and that thing wrapped and all that. And no one really cares. What they care about is like, what are you doing for me? Why do I want this thing? And how will it change my life? And if you can really empathize and put yourself in the context of your customer, your user, whoever that is, I think that makes all the difference in the world, whether you're technical or not.